This month, this year actually, has been all about balancing the practical and the spiritual. So therefore, you can become aligned. So you can be in alignment. This month has been full of eclipses between Pisces and Virgo. Virgo is the practical, Pisces is the spiritual. The goal is to align the mind, Virgo, body, all of that, with the Piscean, which is the soul, the spirit, belief in oneself. So how in your life have you seen maybe any things around that? There's many examples, and I wrote some down, and you let me know if this aligns with you in any way. So one of the things has been the end of unaligned jobs and relationships. A lot of people have been having to release and let go of sacrificing yourself and your needs to help other people. Also, this has been the season of the end of saving, quote unquote, enabling, because when you try to save someone or be the savior, you are taking away their ability, their actual lesson to save themselves, which causes you to enable the person, and then it backfires. And it's a tough lesson, but it's important for you. And if you're on the other end of that and you're needing a savior or wanting a savior because life is lifing, that's also reality setting in of like having to end that, like wanting to be saved and wanting to find a savior, because that attracts unhealthy relationships. It repeats the same cycles that you've been having to learn in your life, but just are surrounded by attracting the wrong people, being in the wrong relationships. It creates imbalanced relationships and entitlement. And all of that is a big theme for a lot of people who are either in relationships that are unbalanced, or they're single, but they've been dating the wrong people. So that's one thing. Another biggie, which you've been hearing me talk about, is the end of this control that we all feel like we have. And here's the thing. The only thing that you can control is yourself and your mind and your thoughts. And once again, if you learn anything from this month, I hope you learn that what you put in here is going to translate into your body and then your outer world, okay? Then the exterior. So what you feed your mind is essential. I mean, it goes into even your thoughts, how you think about yourself, what you say about yourself. Do you believe in yourself? And are you around people who don't? And are they feeding your mind those negative thoughts? And that then you're starting to think those negative thoughts, and then your whole life seems negative because of what has been planted here. So replant whatever it is that's been in here that's blocking your exterior world. And that. So yeah, trying to let go of controlling the outcome of things and trusting and letting go. With the Piscean energy, we are all being guided as a collective to trust our intuitions, knowing that that dream job that you want, that you're able to get it. But just because you got the intuitive insight, just because just because you felt it in your intuition, and this is something that I had to learn, doesn't mean that means that it's going to happen that same moment. It takes work and consistency and me showing up for myself every day. And I'm not in control of the outcome. God, the universe, is what I can be in control of, and that's where we focus on what we are in control of, and that is me taking aligned action every single day on the thing that first came in intuitively. That's me trusting myself, and then letting go of the outcome or the timeline. That's not my job to worry about. If I trust, if I believe, if I have faith, then I know. And then you just see. Then you start to see the little things come every single day. Another biggie is the clearing and the cleansing and the shedding, because those are all eclipse themes of something being cleared out of your life, something being shedded out of your life, something that we're shedding is the end of delusions. And that's the Piscean energy, and that is you being delulu about things like relationships. Like there's actually a big thing that I saw by Tabitha Brown, where she was talking about how it's important, like you need to be making money while you're actively working toward your dream. And if that means getting a part-time job or whatever to have you stacking your bread so you can sustain a living, and do that while you are actively creating your dream. And that's something that I have to do, even if I don't want to. But the good thing about it is there's so many ways that you can make money. You don't have to make money the traditional way, or you can, there's just so many ways. So you should be making sure that you are doing the practical things. And that's kind of thinking, I think of that as Virgo, but I also think of that as the Saturn and Pisces energy. Is like handling your responsibilities, because that is important. Like, that's, once again, no one is here to save you. No one is responsible for handling your responsibilities. You have bills to pay. You have all these things. So you still have to handle the practical stuff while you're building towards that dream. So using all the multitude ways of making that. And if you got to get a part-time job and live with other people because you're so passionate in your dreams and you don't want to, and then you want to have more time, blah, blah, blah. There's ways. So I think it is important. It is normal to get in this delusion of like not wanting to work and wanting to just like, so yeah, just removing the cleansing away of the fog that you're in and this is why I've always been wary of the trend that was like about like living a delusional life or being in a whatever delusional world. That can get tricky. It's important, yeah, when it comes to like you wanting to manifest something that you haven't created, but it causes problems when you apply that to handling your responsibilities, and then you're struggling financially, or you're struggling to even make a living, and you can't be struggling while you are trying to also build your dream. You got to have the energy, you got to have that. So that, and then also in relationships. A lot of people, once again, a lot of ending of a relationships, or being in a relationship and having clarity of like that this isn't aligned, or being honest with yourself. And, if you're out of it, eventually you'll get out of the love fog, or the fog of illusions that you thought was the person, all this stuff like that. So the next thing is the end of neglecting your health, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And that all goes back to the mind, but that makes me think of the Virgo energy of like people who are navigating through illness or sickness, and realizing that played a role in that was them overworking in a job that they didn't like and was depleting them, or being in relationships that was impacting their health, or family people. Like there's just so many things. So having to get into like take your health seriously, and having a routine and structure for yourself to really focus on mind, body, and soul health. And then lastly, maybe feeling the pressure to take the things you care about seriously, and that comes with like working consistently and patient, like work, like pretty much the themes of that. And that's the Saturn and Pisces energy, is like patience. What did I write? I said consistency, patience, and trust. Those are the key elements to achieving the things that you want. And also mixed with the practicality of handling your responsibilities. on the way towards that. So those are all the things that came up for me for this month. But we will be on this Pisces and Virgo eclipse until like next year, I believe. So just pay attention to what themes came up, write it down, and most importantly, apply it. The application is what matters the most. You can do all the writing, you can do all the listening to videos, but if you don't then apply it to your life, you're repeating the same cycles. Nothing's going to get a change. So it's up to you to be the change for yourself. Believe in yourself.